Everybody, it's heating up in Polk County, and sports is the hottest of the hot. Sports Central's coming up next, and we've got some superstars on the show, some super events. Stick around, everybody, for this edition of Sports Central. Everybody, and welcome to Sports Central. Alongside me, Hank Longo, and by the way, my name is Mark Jackson. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody, and joining Hank as well. And it's been a few shows since we hosted together, and that's
nice
always a delight.
Back.
Oh, thank you very much.
Kind of like on tour, like a rock star, you know.
Oh my gosh, Denver 5 days, Miami 4 days, and then. You know, so tired out from that, I had to go to Wisconsin, do a little fishing, you know.
Wind down a little bit.
It's all good, yeah, absolutely. Well, we have some special folks to thank for this
first
segment.
We want to thank the folks at Echo Suites for being a part of our first segment here on Sports Central, and just appreciate all the sponsor support that we get from all these people. That's what makes it happen. Yeah,
we'll be talking about it a little bit later, but Echo Suites up there at just off of I-4 in Lakeland.
33, I believe it is.
Yeah, great property. A lot of sports teams use Echo Suites.
Yep, it's a beautiful property. Yeah, we've done a great job with it up there.
Well, speaking of really good stuff, you know, Polk County has had a really long history of working with AAU baseball, which is arguably the when it comes to travel teams and just the baseball infrastructure for youth and even younger. What a great program it has been, all the way from Chet Lemon, if you're a Major League Baseball fan, to where we stand today, trying to regrow and really launch more of what AAU represents, not only on the field but off the field as well. And with us is the baseball director for the Florida Gulf Coast AAU regional group, and his name, Joe Albanese. And Joe, thanks so much for joining us. You know, we have a special spot in our heart for AAU baseball, and I think it's a good situation for all of us with, coming from Rhode Island. You have a pretty impressive background in the sport of baseball, a lot of experience.
Oh, that I've had.
Yeah.
That helps.
Which is good. Well, and then at Hunt Fountain Park in Lakeland, got a tournament coming up as well, but we'll talk about that as well as a number of things that you're trying to do, and how folks can get in touch with AAU, yourself, if they have kids or grandkids or whatever it may be, they want to get involved. So tell us a little about what's going on at Hunt Fountain.
Well, we're having the first, the first one since 2011, Florida State Baseball Championship for AAU. So we're trying to bring that back and get it pumped up again, and like you said, get it grown. It's taken a backseat to other organizations a little bit recently, but we're rebuilding it. I feel like I don't know. I tell people back home, I feel like Bill Parcells or Bill Belichick.
You're in good company.
I get thrown into the fire to start things all over again. So that's it's been my thing. I get kind of like was in retirement from baseball, I thought.
Yeah.
And then I get pulled back into this, but I'm glad I did.
Yeah, it ain't happening.
I guess they just had this passion calculator on me that just read 1,000 and said, "We got to call this guy because I got a passion for the game that's unbelievable."
We'll talk a little bit about AAU baseball.
AAU baseball is a travel band of baseball where teams get organized, and the difference between AAU baseball versus league baseball is the fact that it's individual teams. They organize themselves. They decide who they're going to play, when they're going to play, how often they're going to play, and it's it's not a set. There's no set schedule for that. They just enter the tournaments and so forth, or enter the league, AAU league that they want to play in, if they want to. So it's for development. I mean, it was set out that way to begin with, and that's the reason why I focused on 9 to 14-year-olds, because development is a key. A lot of times it gets away from that.
Well, one of the things with, and we'll get back to the tournament in a second, but, AAU is really a launching pad and has been for a lot of pro ball players, both at the major league level, but also at AAA, AA, Florida State League and so on. I mean, so many of the superstars that we're watching on TV and
come up through AAU.
Come up through AAU because that distinction between, sort of league play, recreational play, kids get all the benefits of baseball and so on and so forth, but they're locked into a, hey, we have to compete Tuesday night and Thursday night, and then next week it's Wednesday night and Saturday, whatever it may be. With AAU, they can say, hey, we're going to go to this tournament. And in your particular case, for the state championships, it's July 13th, 14th, and 15th.
Yes.
And it's the state championships. They can say, we're going. And, that's really kind of a interesting distinction. But the level of play is pretty doggone high with AAU.
Yes, yes, it is. It's supposed to be more or less the
Elite?
the kids. Well, yeah, I use that word loosely because I don't like to categorize ball players. I mean, there's some guys in Major League Baseball that everybody turned their head against. And I mean, the kid who pitched my very first game that I ever coached in AAU, I was told by every other coach, this kid's not going nowhere. Well, he went to Mitchell High School and pitched 4 no-hitters in a row, Patrick Schuster.
Whoa. Yeah.
So,
Well, it's part of the development, though, too. I mean, if you can go into any sport and the athlete that you don't think has any talent is the athlete that could have more dedication and passion for the sport than any of them, and it's that dedication, passion, and the hard work that helps them develop the skills, and all of a sudden these skills become these great skills, and this person that nobody thought was really any good, blossomed. And, if you go into the Michael Jordan story is a perfect one in basketball. He didn't make the team. They didn't think anything of this guy. And then, he becomes, probably one of the best basketball players of all time. And, you see this in all these other sports. And it's just, and I think through a development league like this, and that you encourage them and you support them and get them to come out of that shell so that they can, just be themselves as the athlete and not worry about, the perception that they're, being looked at.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. It is about the development, and a lot of the travel teams now are, I mean, they're being run by baseball people, former players, baseball academies that are really, I mean, there's academies that have teams from 9 to 14. Yeah. Some of them have 2 or 3. They red, white, and blue teams. Yeah. And they just develop them at different levels, but they want to keep them all at developmental stage, like you mentioned about players that just went off the charts that no one ever expected would make it all the way to the major leagues, like Jose Altuve, Dustin Pedroia. They were like, these guys are too small. They're never going to make it. Yeah.
Well, that's just
Brandon Inge.
Yeah.
But that's where heart comes into play. And desire and dedication, and sometimes that overcomes some of the maybe liabilities a player may have or tools that they don't have. They always use that term 5-tool player. Yeah. Well, the 3-tool player, if he works hard enough, can become a 5-tool.
Well, it's kind of like the coaching environment, the team environment. I think with AAU, you can excel. Because you're getting good coaching, you're getting into a system that allows you to progress. And if you have the heart, like you said, the desire, they're going to give you some of the tools, and so on, to excel. For the state championships at Hun Fountain, how many teams do you anticipate? And they're coming from all over the state, right?
Yes, all over the state of Florida. They can. They anywhere from the Panhandle, Jacksonville, and all the way down to Miami. And everywhere else. In fact, we got a little variety of teams right now. In fact, we just signed a team up yesterday. It's got a 9-year-old and 10-year-old team out of Parkland.
Oh yeah.
And where is Parkland?
Well, Parkland is where the
The school shooting took place.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, down in South Florida.
Okay,
So
okay.
they're coming up with their players,
Wow.
which is
Parkland's a cool community. I mean,
It-
Dan Marino lives in there. I got a buddy of mine that lives there, who runs the Miami, Air and Sea Show, National Salute to America's Heroes. He lives right there, right across from the equestrian center there. It's really a neat community, but it's pretty high end for the most part.
Well, that says a lot for Polk County, that being right here in the center of the state, you can get them from all over.
It's a
make it
perfect,
convenient.
Polk County is a perfect location. I mean, it's so centralized. I mean, I did the graphics and the demographics on it, and I'm like, this is from Jacksonville, Miami, Tampa, or even the Space Coast. It's right in the middle there.
Yeah.
And we're expecting to get probably 40 to 48 teams. We'd like to get to
Really?
48. We'd be happy with 40.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got 5 age groups: 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13.
Since I think you said 2011 was the last time the AU had a state championship. That's phenomenal, in my opinion. I think that's a great starting point. Maybe we'll see 140 next year because
That'd be nice.
But like you said, if you have a baseball environment and a destination that's affordable, that loves the players, that it's a welcoming environment here. People
Yes.
want to see these guys, play ball. I think it's going to grow, and we're going to help you make it grow.
Well, I'm telling you, I got to throw a lot of kudos out to Polk County because I mean, when I came to this, sports commission, and I went through the county, they were like open arms. I mean, it's some places back where I am in Tampa and Clearwater are like, we're all booked up for those days. But they found a way for me to get in there, and they've helped me every all the way along the way. And just to mention Echo Suites again, we've got rooms set up for teams to come in and get rooms over there. So.
Well, one of the things that I need to do before we let you go, and we go on for another 30 minutes, but the fact of the matter is we do have a deadline too. But if people want more information, how do they contact you? How do they contact AAU?
The best way to go is to contact me through email, obviously. And that email is joe.albanese@flgcaau.org.
Okay,
That would be.
Now, Joe, spell Albany so that these people.
Okay, right. I've got that northern accent. It's A-L-B like boy, A-N-E-S like Stephen E.
Okay.
So that would be the best way to contact me, or go to our website, which is www.flgcaau.org, and I can get information there.
Phenomenal. Great stuff. We obviously, on behalf of the county commissioners and every, and the whole industry here, the sports industry, we welcome you guys. Glad to see you, and
Yeah,
hope it's
love to have all you come in and visit us.
and set up some more. So, Joe, thanks so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
We appreciate you coming out.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Joe.
Good.
Good luck
Good
to
to
you.
see you,
Thank
and
you.
we'll see you again soon.
All righty.
All righty. Well, one of the things when you're not on the court, you're not on the field, squares and diamonds, right? So you're not participating. It's kind of fun to check out the local environment. What Joe was talking about just a little earlier is one of the reasons that families, and particularly sports stars, like to come here is that there's a lot of cool stuff to do, Hank.
Neat place.
Yeah, it really is. And the Phosphate Museum, Phosphate's synonymous with Polk County and vice versa.
It's amazing what you learn at the Phosphate Museum.
Yeah. Well, we've got some really cool footage here from the Phosphate Gallery. You can find all sorts of fossils. They have a great program there. Check this out, everybody. Hank and Mark, we'll be back right after this.
Do you have a miniature Indiana Jones in your family? If so, journey through the past when you visit the Mulberry Phosphate Museum.
We've been around since 1986. We took some of the fossils from an exposition in Bartow and then some private fossil collections and combined them in '86, which was in the Historic Depot. And then later we added the Phosphate Gallery and the History Gallery, which are from restored mining train cars that we added together. The first one where we like to start is the Phosphate Gallery, which is what we're in now, and that tells the story from fossils to food, sort of what phosphate is, which is a pretty big question when people come in. The next one is our History Gallery, which tells about the local history of the mining company towns and the mining companies and how it impacted the area. And then of course we have our Fossil Gallery, which is housed in the Historic Depot, and that has the fossils that were found through phosphate mining and a couple of private donations. We also have our caboose that you can walk through that's been restored, which helps tell the story of train history, which is a big part of our story. For the past 3 years, we've incorporated programming because that is a big part of what we're about. We want to not only tell the phosphate story, but inspire future generations to go into science and engineering and help the phosphate industry as well as other fields. So we have STEAM Saturday once a month, which is hands-on activities to talk about science, technology, engineering, art, and math. We also have Wild Wednesday, which focuses on animal science because that's a big part of what we do too. We have Behind the Glass, which is where after a tour you can get hands-on time with some of our fossils, maybe inspire some future paleontologists and also to see what museums do. And then you can always dig on our dig pile and take home anything you find.
I love the fact that there's a dinosaur dig. I think that anybody who figured out that there's a dinosaur dig, they're gonna be like, I'm digging.
There's only one other phosphate museum in the United States, and it's in Tennessee, so be sure to visit this very unique attraction during your next Central Florida vacation.
Hey everybody, and welcome back. Sports Central, segment number 2. Mark Jackson along with Hank Longo.
Great to be working with you again. We always have so much fun. And hey, a big shout out to Harry's Old Place for being the sponsor of our second segment, and open on Sundays now. So you can join Harry's on Sunday and just great food.
Right across the lake from your house.
Right across the lake from my house. I can just boat there and not have to worry about finding a parking spot. It's pretty nice.
Speaking of water sports, this next segment is sort of a water ski segment because our two guests, Mark Voisard and Grace Petzold, along with Hank and myself, are all professional water skiers. So it's kind of a reunion of sorts in some ways, but a great time to talk about what's going on in the sport of water skiing at the water ski capital of the world, which is Polk County, undoubtedly. The Olympic Committee's governing body of the sport, for those of you that didn't know, is based right here. So we are very fortunate to have them, and I know they feel the same, but we have a really cool tournament coming up.
Well, Mark, I'm sure you probably want to jump right on this with the 2018 Southern Regional Show Ski Championships. And, you know, I'm just going to jump in here a little bit for a moment, but Mark and Mark skied for the Gardens for years, and you did, and then you skied part-time after you were, you know, in the business world. And Mark, you've skied for them, and you have your own company, and you have resurrected the Cypress Gardens Water Ski team. Right. And this gentleman is responsible for getting the ski shows down at Lake Silver every third Saturday of the month, and has done a phenomenal job in building a new ski club and bringing back the historic Cypress Gardens skiers, and now to be hosting the Southern Regionals there, which is the second biggest tournament for show skiing in the country, because you go from the Southern Regionals and then you'll go to the National Water Ski Championship. So what a opportunity for people to come out and watch some of the best show skiing that they'll see.
Yeah. It's going to be great. We're expecting on June 13th and 4th, I'm sorry, June 23rd and 24th, Saturday and Sunday. We're going to have 6 teams vying for the Southern Regional Championships, including the Sarasota Skieries, who are our national champions last year. They are awesome. They are awesome. I wish we could ski as well as they can, but it's a new year, so you never know. We've got 160 people in our organization to put on this event, our first event, other than the All-American we've ran since we started. So we're not new to putting on events, but this is a little bit bigger. The city of Winter Haven has been gracious and supportive, and Visit Central Florida is unbelievable. We're going to fly this Visit Central Florida kite. It's going to be great. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be great.
Very nice.
We've got young up-and-comers like Grace, who's just an awesome skier. Wait till you see her, because she can do anything that we put out on water. But we got a lot of those people coming from all over. We got Carolina coming. We got Lakeland. There's a new team out of Lakeland called Central Florida Water Ski Team. We also have Tampa Bay, Sarasota, and of course the Cypress Gardens Water Ski Team. So sometimes we only have 4 teams in the South that compete, and now we've got 6. So we're looking to get a little bit bigger. You know, Wisconsin has what, Mark?
The largest number of per capita water skiers anywhere in the country, and the largest number of ski clubs, but it's a bazillion of them.
Yeah, and
like
Wisconsin State, Wisconsin is its own region for show team, and so their tournament, Wisconsin State Show Tournament, is what, 18 teams? They're doing 9 a day, all day, Saturday and Sunday, and then they get to qualify to go to nationals or whatever.
So this is a testament, though, that for the Sarasota team to win the nationals last year, they really had to be able to put on one heck of a show, because really the folks from Wisconsin, where both of you grew up skiing and show skiing, has been producing the best show ski teams year after year.
Right. And it's so competitive up there. They are into it. Yeah, they only get to ski for 3 months, but they're 12 months planning and practicing indoors, in pools, whatever it takes. They're putting the time in.
And when we go up there to Wisconsin in the winter for the annual think tank, you know, everybody's out there in hundreds to, you know, learn new techniques and, you know, buy new stuff, and they're thinking about it all year long. So Grace, are you all pumped up for this big event coming up?
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's going to be lots of fun.
Now this gal is quite the superstar in our sport, because a national barefoot champion on top of being a show skier and a swivel ski champion. And what events are you going to participate in the
I'll be doing the swivel competition, doubles, competing with Cypress Gardens, barefoot endurance, and maybe even some jump in there.
You're going to do it. Oh, and a little jump in. Now we're talking. By
the way, who's your doubles partner?
Maybe Mr. Mark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, so let's talk about swivel skiing, because there's an audience that we have that isn't familiar with all these terms that we are so well aware of. But swivel skiing is you performing on one ski, and the binding, if you can look at, say this is the binding, it just turns all the way around. It goes 360. So why don't you explain what you try to perform when you're swivel skiing?
So it's all about grace and beauty, and you want to put on a show for the whole audience. And there's like various tricks, so there's also different levels. So there's 180, which is where the ski only turns halfway. Then there's 360, where it turns the full 360, and then there's something called open, and open qualifies you to compete at nationals. And these girls are throwing 720s, 1080s, sometimes even 1440s.
And
so
that's the number of times that they're spinning around.
so lots of spinning around.
Now you got to realize, folks, this ski, the binding is turning on the ski. So
it's like the world's smallest stage.
Yeah,
is what we call it.
And it's like amazing to watch you do this, because it's not easy to stand on a ski and actually turn around with the binding spinning around, and that's remarkable.
The girls make it look very easy, but I don't think people always understand how
tough
difficult it is.
Well, you're practicing all the time, and you know, Grace lives like 3 houses down from me on Ruby Lake. And so, I hear a boat. Oh, that's Grace. You know, so she's out there, makes her boyfriend drive her probably 16 hours a day or whatnot. But, you know, you're practicing a lot, and I think you go over to my brother's house and jump, don't you? Yeah. I think he needs a new surface on that ramp. He's getting a new ramp. Did you know that?
It's in already.
Yeah, the old one's going on Ruby, the new one's going on Bess. So there's a little family update, folks. That's just the way it is in the world of water skiing. And actually, you know, Hank, you and I, and Mark, well, all 4 of us, you know, water skiing is America's family sport. It takes a driver, it takes a rider, and to perform tricks like this, the air chair, now swivel ballet, Grace. There's
a swivel skiing going on there.
You guys had three girls out yesterday on the lake. I was watching you. Yep, and there's Mark flying the Visit Central Florida hang glider. Wow, look at that.
And this, this just gives you an idea, folks, of what you're going to see. This is everybody on the dock getting ready to take off to do the pyramid. That's how many people it takes, and what a spectacular display of skiing that is. And
this is in Tampa last year, the opening barefoot. We had 9 guys.
Oh, wow. So boat speed's about 40 miles an hour, Mark?
Just about, yeah.
Just about 40 miles an hour. And of course, Mark was a phenomenal barefooter in his younger days, still is. But, here's, Mark, this is a little bit different act. It's called Around the Boat. Skiers actually ski around the boat. Grace, do you do that too? Oh, do you?
Hey, Grace does it all.
She does everything. Now here's Mark right here. Boom.
The difference between Mark and his brother Brian would do a 2-ski jump out like that, and his rear end would never hit the water. It was just feet to feet. Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
And of course, those are called
jumping.
helicopters, 360 degrees. Guys, some of the jumpers are like hockey players. They're missing about half their teeth. You can see why. And what are we watching here now? This is
what we call we try to do a pre-built, but we came around the corner really quick and built 2 3-tiers.
Okay.
We come through the front, and then in the back, we change it to a 4-tier.
Okay.
And then come back through again.
So you actually build the pyramids before you leave the dock.
Yep.
The boat pulls the skiers off the dock, already pre-built.
Already built.
Okay, and then in the backstretch, you'll take those 2 pyramids and turn it into a 4-tier pyramid.
That's right.
That's pretty creative.
So it's 6 people in each 3-tier pyramid combined to make 12 people in a 4-tier pyramid.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yep.
Looking great. And of course, this is in Tampa Bay with the Tampa Bay ski team.
Yep. In Oldsmar.
Yeah, in Oldsmar, competing there. Of course, our good friend Gary Stout is real involved there. All right. Anyway, that was some really great footage, you guys, and thanks so much for providing that.
Sure.
So, Mark and I ski together, Hank and I too, but, for so doggone long, it's just like, well, geez, Mark, you're asking me a question you've known the answer to for 30-some years, so I'm going to talk to you, Grace. You're better looking anyway. So are you excited about the Nationals coming up this year? I mean, you're going to go up and compete in Janesville, right?
Well, I hope to compete, I guess, if I qualify, and then, but we'll definitely be there to watch all the fun.
But not only do you live here, but you also live in Mequon. Your dad has a business there, and you guys kind of go back and forth. And
yeah, a lot of traveling. I actually go to school up in Wisconsin, except then come down here to train with the team and compete with them.
Yeah, that is like professional athlete. Huh?
And she's on the world show team.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, that's actually what we were practicing for.
Okay, no,
every
that
day.
is just 2.5 hours north of Toronto.
Right.
That's going to be a
September, early September.
Yeah, it could be snow too.
Yes.
But she's from Wisconsin. She knows how to deal with that.
Yeah.
Well, we've got to wrap this one up. But again, we could go on for another 30 minutes with you guys. But if you want more information, it's the Cypress Gardens Water Ski Show Team. They perform on Lake Silver. In Winter Haven, they perform every 3rd Saturday, right?
The 3rd Saturday.
The 3rd Saturday, and this is the Slow Roll and Ski Show, and that starts at the bike shop, which is really cool.
That'll be a week from tomorrow. Will be our normal show, and the week after that is the tournament.
Fantastic.
Yep.
And the tournament is Friday, June 22nd, 23rd, and 24th on Lake Silver. You can go to visitcentralflorida.org and find more
information on this event. And I got to tell you again, folks, you really, if you get the opportunity, you're going to see some of the best show skiing in the world that you'll ever get to see. And it'll be a fun event. Everybody has fun there. It's like one big family reunion. Everybody getting together, they have fun, and everybody helps everybody, and they love the crowd. So the more the people get out there, the better they're going to ski.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank
you.
Say hi to your folks for me. Of course, I just have to holler out the back door, and they're there. And Mark, it's always a pleasure seeing you. And
thanks.
Maybe I'll have to come down, and I keep saying that, come down and.
I'm going to throw a little shout out, because give me some skin here. Me and my brother were inducted in the Hall of Fame the same year, so that was a very
that was one of the biggest years. I think it's the biggest year they ever had.
Yeah, it was
Not
fantastic.
just because of you.
That just shows how old we are.
It's called
We made it. We made it though.
It's called seasoned veterans.
Made it to
everybody.
the finish line. Thank God.
Hey, we're talking about governing bodies with USA Water Ski being based here. Well, the largest sports governing body in the state of Florida is based here as well, and that's the Florida Youth Soccer Association, based at Lake Myrtle. Well, we have an event called the President's Cup, and it's really kind of an interesting championship series. It's a building series for qualifying and so on. We have some great footage. If you're into soccer, you're into field sports, you've got to check this out. Florida Youth Soccer Associations, that's easy for me to say, maybe not for you.
I'll let you
Okay,
just
I'll
keep
stumble
hammering
over
away
that one a
at
little
this.
bit more. But anyway, check this out, everybody. Hank and Mark, we'll be back right after this.
So what you have here this weekend is actually teams from all around the nation. All 50 states are actually represented with some type of team or representative from U.S. Youth Soccer. It's the national governing body for which the Florida Youth Soccer Association is a part of. President's Cup is actually part of a multi-tier championship series where teams from communities all the way up to state level participate for a chance to get the coveted championship title. So that's what we have here at Lake Myrtle this weekend, and we're expecting anywhere between 5,000 to 10,000 people. That includes players, fans, and administrative officials as well.
This is a culmination of an entire year of soccer. These teams started out last August playing in their leagues and their various tournaments. They advanced to their state tournaments, won their state tournaments, and then advanced to their regional tournaments, and in turn won their regional President's Cup tournament. And now those teams have advanced to the National President's Cup event here, and this is where we crown national champions in 10 different gender age groups. This is, for some players, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. They have a chance to win a national title here, a U.S. Youth national title, and it's an arduous process. I mean, like I mentioned, I mean, you have to win 2 other tournaments. You win a state tournament and your regional tournament to make it to this national tournament. In each age group, there's 4 teams from the 4 different regions that U.S. Youth Soccer has. So it's a process, and this is the best of the best, and that's why it's for a national title.
If you're one of the 40 teams that actually wins the title this year, you get to carry that title with you. Obviously, that comes with bragging rights to some degree. You're able to take home the coveted President's Cup trophy home with you as well. But not only that, but you get the chance to defend your title in the upcoming year as well too. So it's a great team cooperation, but it also encourages, you know, self-importance and the need for the team aspect, and it's all leads up to the big chance for them to do it again next year.
I mean, playing any team sport, soccer included, you know, the camaraderie, learning to work together in a cooperative environment, and you know, again, learning to compete, not just on the athletic field, but in life is a big important thing. I mean, we're a competitive society, whether we like to acknowledge it or not, and kids learning how to work in team atmospheres, which is really part of the business world now too, can serve them on and off the field as they grow older.
It's called a beautiful game because it is a beautiful game. I mean, it's a low-scoring game of skill that can be played literally by anyone. So it's just enjoyable to watch. It's very infectious. It gets in your blood.
And you wonder why Polk County is the amateur sports capital of the world? That's part of it right there.
Yeah, just fantastic.
Welcome back to Sports Central, everybody. Mark Jackson along with Hank Longo.
Third segment, we
You
want to
got
thank
it.
the folks at Days Inn in Lakeland for joining us and being a part of our show. And We sure have some great sponsors, and we can't thank you folks enough for your support, because without you, all this wouldn't happen.
And Days in another one that's hosting Joe's AAU State Baseball Championships up there.
Yeah,
So
that's why we love bringing them into town.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's, you know, we go on that for a long time, but there's a sport that we haven't talked.
Well, wait just a minute
Okay.
now. Let me kind of spice this up a little bit. He can hit a golf ball. I love to golf. I have my good shots, and I have my when the heck did you learn how to play golf? But something that you and I both have a passion for, getting out on the golf course. And our next guest is going to show us something a little more unique with the sport of golf.
Well, Hank, you're doing so well. I think you ought to just take it from there because, you know, Hank, we have not really gotten into disc golf.
No.
At all, and it is, ever watch it played, it is really, really cool. It's a great sport. It's becoming one of the fastest growing sports in the United States right now,
Wow.
believe it or not. But that's all I'm going to say because you were doing such a great
So,
job.
ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome Dan Weible coming into our third segment of Sports Central. And Dan, great
great to
having
see
you
you
with
again.
us. And tell us about this remarkable new sport. It's actually been going on for a while, but it's really starting to take off.
It has, yes. I've been playing for 30 years myself.
Oh my gosh.
The sport started, I'd say, in the late 60s. It's gone through a bit of changes, you know, with equipment and whatnot, and kind of settled down into the sport we have today in the late 70s. It's a great way to get outside, have some fun in the outdoors. It's pretty simple to play. Anybody can pick it up, and it's just fun.
Well, Dan, you have some discs here.
I do.
And Whammo was the first company that produced, I think they called them flying discs. And
Yes.
then it was Frisbee or something like that. And the ones I have that I throw for my lab, you know, that he chews up, you know, I can buy them for $1.99. Those are not $1.99.
No, but they're still though, they're not that expensive. Just for the sport, will go anywhere from $8 to $20, depending on the plastics they're made from, how durable they are. But where I think you're going is that, yeah, these are not what you would play catch with on the beach. So,
and you say that. Why is that? I mean, what is the difference from this than the kind that you'd be throwing and catching? Is it the design, or?
Yeah, these are made to fly in specific ways. So golf is in the name. Disc golf is very analogous to ball golf, as we would call it. So at one end of the scale, you have what we would call a putter. And this disc is going to be the most similar to what you play catch with a Frisbee. It's got a very blunt edge to it. All right.
So that's what you're getting into, like in golf. You get to the green and you got to put in the hole.
This in.
In disc golf, what are they throwing?
We're throwing into what we call a basket. It's a pole with some chains on it and a basket suspended in there as well. The idea is that when you throw the disc in, the chains break the momentum and the disc either lands in the basket.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And then at the other end of the scale, from the putter, is what we would call a driver. And this has a very sleek edge, and this is one of the reasons why you wouldn't want to play catch with this. This is
in the head.
This is a hit, your head, hand. This is not something that you want to.
So that goes real far, right?
This one's designed to fly very far.
And
yes.
like, how far?
I personally can throw this one a little over 300 feet.
Okay.
That's a football field.
That's a football field. Yes, sir.
150 yards.
Yes.
Okay.
100 yards there, or 100, 300 feet for this one. I play with people who can throw upwards of 400 feet regularly. There are some people who can throw over 500 feet.
Wow.
Oh yeah, yes, and it's not a game of power. It's not a game that you have to be in top physical condition to play.
It's more of a technique.
It's very technique. One of the kids that can throw 500 feet has. I look at him and he's got no muscle tone. You know, it's the way he's built. But he can get the mechanics to work and completely just let it go. It's a beautiful thing to watch. So in between the driver and the putter, we have what we would call a mid-range. And again, the shape of this is not as sharp as a driver.
They're all different. The edges on all these are different.
Right. And then to that, to come back to ball golf, you got your driver, you got your iron, and you got your putter.
Wow.
Yeah, and little different sizes, shapes, and all designed to do different things.
Yes.
So when you're in a competition, how many of these things can you carry? Just as many as you want? Or?
Yes, yeah, you can. And you would have, so with ball golf, you have a different set of clubs that you'd use. We're basically throwing our clubs. We carry the clubs with us, and we pick these and throw. I would use anywhere between 5, 8 when I play. It depends on the course you play at. What's different about a disc golf course is that they are shorter, and that's because the discs fly. Mm-hmm. So where a ball golf course would be anywhere from 200 to 500 yards.
Okay.
We are playing, say, 200 to 500 feet.
Okay.
In general.
Okay. So that makes a little more sense to me now.
Yeah.
And I've seen the disc courses at a few places where I have played, and here you can take a look at. Dan, explain this to us now as we're looking at this video.
This is some of me doing some practice work out at one of the parks nearby. You can see there here I'm doing some putting. That's my practice basket there, and just trying not to spit out like that, but practicing my form there. Again, putting, you putt for money. You drive for show, putt for dough, as the saying goes. Again, here, more driving practice, just trying to get a
And where is this that you're playing?
Right there, that is across from Lakeland High School. I forget the name of the park, Fletcher Road Park, or Fletcher Park.
Wow,
okay.
It's gorgeous.
Well, this is really growing here in Polk County, and
yes.
So at the new Loyce Harpe Park. Tell us about what's going to happen there, because I'm real familiar with that simply because of softball and baseball being held there, and the off-road cycling and so on. It's a gorgeous park, and of course Loyce Harpe was the architect of many of the great parks here in Polk County, and you're also a Parks and Rec Leisure Services employee too.
Actually, I'm with the IT department here at Polk County.
Oh, I did not know that.
You did know that. You did know that.
For some reason, okay, I stand corrected, just like at home.
But what we have going on, there's been a group of us volunteers over the last year that have built the first public disc golf course in Polk County.
No,
we have worked with the Parks group, Parks and Leisure group, to get it in. There have been about 5 or 6 of us that have put in the time, and on June 23rd, from 10 to 2, we're having a grand opening.
Really?
Yes.
June 23rd, Saturday.
Saturday, yep, from 10 to 2.
Wow.
Since it is such a new thing for Polk County, we are really aiming for a new audience type event where we're wanting people to come out, learn how to play, see the sport. We're going to have experienced players on hand to help give instruction, to help guide people around.
Sure.
See the kind of talent that Polk County had. I didn't know anything. I didn't know Dan was really into that. That's
I got to ask this after watching the video. You putt for money. How far? What has been your longest putt?
Oh. Okay, so longest putt.
Where you sink it,
Okay, so I have made approach shots coming up, say 150, 170 feet. I've had those go in.
Oh my God!
But that's kind of like chipping in.
Yeah. It's got to get you a little excited to see that baby go in the basket.
If what I would call a long putt for me is anywhere from 40 to 50 feet, and I can do that often enough that keeps me happy.
That's fantastic.
That's disc golf. the thing is, you know, we're running short of time. There's another situation where you sit here for 30 minutes. I can still, you know, fascinated.
It's fascinating.
I'm fascinated
to me
with this
just
golf.
to learn this. This is my first time I have. I have seen the discs and learned about it, and I have mentioned that I've seen the baskets at a couple of the courses where I've been, but you know, didn't even the fact that you're saying that you play in feet versus in golf you're you know, you're playing in yards, but when you throw a disc, when it lands, it hops. You hit a golf ball, it lands, it can go for another 50 yards or whatever, you know. So, you know, it's just fascinating, and to know that there's different discs for the different things that, you know, the driver, the you know, the mid-range, the putting. It's fascinating.
Oh, I think it's cool. I got a real quick question for you. Grace Petzold, who was just here, you know, we were interviewing her, and I mean, a world-class athlete. Her mother still gets out and skis, although she's in a wheelchair. So this is sort of a long way around segue into, this is an opportunity for adaptive people that have disabilities.
Absolutely, yes.
To get outside and
yes.
You don't have to bench press 300 pounds.
No.
You know, you get out, and it's the technique. And when I was watching you on that video, which was really cool, the technique is so similar to golf. You know, it's a lot of it's, you know, the back, you know, your backswing, you know, your dress backswing, and then your follow through. I've never seen a disc person follow through all the way around, because your shoulders come almost perpendicular to the line of travel.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. In the division that I play, one of the gentlemen that I compete with competes with a cane. He has to stand with a cane in order to play, and he beats me more often than I like to admit. So it is the type of thing anybody can come out to play. We have people as young as 8 and as old as 80, literally playing.
That's another idea for adaptive sports.
Yeah.
That would be phenomenal.
It would
We've
be
got people
phenomenal.
that can teach it. Okay, again, it's Saturday, June 23rd.
Yes.
Hank, Dan, it's 10 to 2. Where can they get more information?
We have a Facebook page, which is Loyce Harpe Disc Golf.
Okay.
You can to check there for announcements. I believe the Parks webpage is going to be putting an announcement on there as well.
Fantastic. We need to get some tournaments in here.
We do, yes. We're hoping to do some. We're hoping to do some soon, but first we need to.
You know where to go for assistance with this. I want to see this done.
Good.
I mean, I am like fired up about this, and have been for a while. I've just watched it grow as a sport. Going.
Well, I think you and I need to go play.
That'd be a good little segment, wouldn't it?
I think that
we get Dan to teach us.
I think you just go fun and go play. I mean,
All
as much as we love golf, and the one thing that I love about golf probably the most is just getting outside and being out in nature, and you know.
Well, you saw where he was playing. It was unbelievable.
Just gorgeous.
Trees
so just, boy, this could be a great new thing. Thank you.
You got an IT guru that's now a disc golf guru. I mean, holy smokes.
Going to lose him because he's going to be on the Pro Tour. Yeah, Dan Weible runs $1.8 million at the Masters.
You would.
Golf disc.
Dan, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank
you know, Ed Wolf really has some talent up there.
I'm telling
when I
you.
say up there, they're on the 5th floor, you know, where Oz is. They don't peer behind the curtain or any of that stuff. So, Dan, once again, thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
We appreciate it. You know, that is so much fun. I mean, just people we had on today were fantastic, knowledgeable, and you know.
So now we got an athlete spotlight.
Yeah, Emily Wilkerson. You know, and these up close and personals, George Jenkins High School, and she's a cheerleader. You know, a lot of people don't think of cheerleading or dance as a sport. Let me tell you something. You take a dance class, you're going to find out how real quick how much of a sport it is. And it's the same thing with cheer and dance. And Emily Wilkerson, George Jenkins High School. Check her out, everybody. We'll be back with segment number 4 on Sports Central.
Previously done multiple other sports, including ballet, soccer, hip hop, and I never really got into it, never really felt the love for it. And then I saw one of my friends in cheerleading one time, and in her practice doing all these spins and flips and turns and all this cool stuff that I was interested in. I want to do something cool and look cool doing it. I told my mom and she put me into practice. I was extremely nervous. I actually remember the first day, my friend actually had to carry me out onto the mat and get me to start stretching with everybody because I was so scared to walk out in front of everybody and just be the new one. I was so young too, so I didn't have social skills at that time. It was scary. The hardest thing for me about cheerleading is probably having to get along with all of your teammates and not having a choice, because you can have your worst enemy on the same team as you, but still, if you don't work as a team, then the team isn't going to work. So you just have to do what you got to do to get it done and be the best. You definitely have to keep your cardio in check, and you have to have that stamina to keep going, doing it over and over and over again for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Hardest 2 minutes and 30 seconds you will ever do in your entire life. You're doing everything at the same time, right after each other, and you just gotta run. Run, 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 run. Running helps. A good cheerleader should have a personality that is really friendly and puts out that she can pretty much get along with everybody, and even in bad moments, she always makes the best out of the worst situation possible. We don't always act all cheery and ditzy, you know, how the TV puts us out to be. Also, the TV puts us out to be mean and rude and, you know, just the snotty little girls that everyone thinks we are. And I mean, there might be, but my team is not like that. I am scared. No matter how many times I've done it, I'm always scared to get thrown up, do something new. You just have to hope for the best when you're in the air and trust the people below you that they're gonna catch you. There have been times when I have not been caught, but I still do it anyways because it's fun. We definitely have our ups and downs outside of practice, but you have to throw all of that away as soon as you put your feet on the mat, because if you don't, you're not a team and nothing will work, and your performances wouldn't be to your expectation or your coach's expectation, because you just have to work as a team, and like a team is a family. Not just one of my coaches, but all of my coaches have always supported me through everything. Even last year when I actually had a knee injury and had surgery for my torn ACL, they were still there for me. Even when I wasn't at practice, they always asked me how I was doing and made sure I was okay, and didn't treat me any different than they did the previous years or even this year. I don't remember being that nervous the first time I started, and then slowly started getting to me right before we go on. I just forget everything. I'm like, oh my God, what's next? What's next? There's actually been times when I have forgotten the routine in the middle of a competition and got landed on by somebody. Or I remember another time we were competing, actually in a pep rally, and we were in the middle of a stunt. I had to ask somebody, I was like, what's next? What's next? Because I had no idea, and then they told me and I was good. Once I get through the first half of the routine, it's a breeze. You will get frustrated. You definitely will get frustrated, and you will fight with your coaches, you will fight with your team, you won't like the spots you're put in, but I think it's worth it. Just that moment when I got the jacket and the ring, everything just paid off. Everything in the past that was rough went away at that moment.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Mark Jackson along with Hank Longo. And Hank, we've had some great guests.
Fun show.
Some really exciting things going on in Polk County. This is not a normal county.
No,
it
no,
just
this is a great county. That's why we love to have everybody come visit. And fourth segment, big shout out to the folks at Cleveland Heights for sponsoring this fourth segment. Kind of fits right in, having Cleveland Heights come in after we just got done talking about disc golf.
Disc golf. Cleveland Heights is a fun course to play, 27 holes. You know, the clubhouse is really cool too. I mean, we played out there.
Yeah, had some great tournaments out there.
Had a lot of fun out there. Anyway, it's right on Edgewood.
Edgewood. Well, let's talk about it. It's the big event of the year for Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing, and I know you always look forward to this, and I do, as well as we bring in hundreds and hundreds of athletes. And I'll let you take it away from there.
Almost 700 people this year. It's a new record.
A new record.
It's the Polk County All Sports Awards and Hall of Fame presented by The Ledger. In fact, Brian Burns is going to be co-hosting with me this year, who is the publisher of The Ledger, and great guy, very knowledgeable about sports. But, you know, Hank, you know, you were talking about the Water Ski Hall of Fame, you know, the Polk County Sports Hall of Fame. You know, we've got some talent in this county.
And if you have never been there, the Hall of Fame is at our Lake Myrtle Sports Complex in Auburndale.
The exhibit is.
The exhibit is.
But the event is at the...
At the RP Funding Center.
RP Funding Center, Robert Palmer
When they
Funding
come
Center.
to the museum, you can see all these great superstars that are in the Polk County Sports Hall of Fame.
Well, let's read them off. Claude Woodruff in football, Gene Engel, sort of all sports. Bob Georges, same thing. Josephine Austin, coach in basketball. Synchronized swimming, we have Lorraine Valerino going in, well-known name. Of course, her husband, a former writer. With the Ledger. Jason Odom, NFL star.
Yeah.
Ron Morrow, you know, kind of all sports, particularly boat racing, and then Wayne Gandy, another NFL star. So, you know, that's the class of 2018 going into the Hall of Fame. And, you know, it's at the RP Funding Center. You get more information at centralfloridasports.com if you'd like to go, or some of the people you may know or want to catch up with. It is a fun night, and you're going to be doing all the hosting before and the special interviews.
And I just love it. It's great. I'm on the red carpet, and I get to talk to the inductees and get a little bit of
the Academy Awards the way you do it.
Well, thank you. And it's just a treat to get to hear a little bit of their story. And every time I interview athletes like this, it's so humbling for them. And it's overwhelming when you get inducted like this, because you look at your whole career. You know, it's, all of a sudden you're reminiscing about, you know, I can remember the first time I started to play this sport and how they grew up, and now they're being inducted into a Hall of Fame, and they're always so humble and gracious to talk about it. So it's neat to get to share that with them. And on top of all that, getting to speak with them, it's a night full of all the great young athletes that we have in Polk County. So not only do we celebrate the inductees and their incredible careers, but we get to see the young athletes that one day may become that Hall of Fame inductee.
Absolutely. Well, that's coming up. Don't forget, it's June 12th. And if you do want to come, check out, all you have to do is go to Polk County Sports Marketing website, centralfloridasports.com.
Yep.
So that's where you go. You know, a lot of folks, Hank, don't have the resources to really get their kids in, and it may be a matter of a few dollars. I'll tell you something. The Lakeland Regional Health at the Grasslands campus on Hardin Boulevard, they're providing free from 10 to 2 on June 16th and June 23rd. They have free sports physicals. And I mean, what a great opportunity. They can save a lot of dollars and get your kids involved in that. So kudos to Lakeland Regional Health. That's awesome. Well, one of your favorites, you better take over for this one.
I gotta tell you, how can you not love this? It's the Miss Florida pageant, Monday, June 25th through Saturday, June 30th at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland. And each year, this Miss Florida pageant awards more than $50,000 in scholarships to participants, and the admission from $15 up to $85. But this is where they crown the Miss Florida to go to the
Miss America.
The Miss America contest.
And then this year, it's going to be tough, because this year they will have swimsuit competition in Miss Florida, but not in Miss America. Big to do about that. So they feel that they're at a competitive disadvantage for Florida going into Miss America that will not have swimsuit. You know, how that all works, I don't know, but We're not here to make political commentary, and so we will not.
So we
But,
won't jump in on that one. But anyhow,
other
it's
than that, it puts
fantastic
our Florida
event.
folks at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see. Hopefully we win.
So another big event going on at Legoland, and I'll tell you, the Red, White, and Boom.
And Boom, July 4th at Legoland, which is a Wednesday this year.
Yeah.
We get gypped.
And so, as we are sneaking out of time here, we got to thank Contempo Vacation Homes, Hall Communications, Cypress Lanes, the Ledger Media Group, and Legoland for all your support.
Well, don't forget, everybody, our next live show, June 22nd. Hank and Mark, we appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again next time.